Lesson 13, this is be our last geometry section. We're talking about surface area and volume. And these are three-dimensional figures. So we have prisms and pyramids, cylinders and cones and spheres. Prisms and cylinders, they have two faces. This is your typical one shape push through space, and you have the same shape on both sides. Cones and pyramids come to a point, and then you have a sphere, which is essentially a ball. Surface area is a little bit more complicated as far as the formulas go. Volume is really straightforward. So we're going to look at each type of shape, both the surface area and the volume. And the formulas for all these will be in Canvas. Formulas for these are in Canvas, and there's just too many to put on here. So look at Canvas for a reference to that. And they will be provided for you on your midterm and final, depending on where they are. All right, so for surface area, you're trying to find the area of each shape and add them all up. So the surface area formula here is going to be, I have two of each of these, so I have 2 times 7 times 13 plus 2 times 13 times 9 plus 2 times 7 times 9. And it doesn't matter which order you put these in. You just need a section of all of them. You need a 7 and 13, you need a 7 by 9, and you need a 9 by 13. And again, it doesn't matter where you put them as long as you have all of them included. And when you use your calculator, it's going to give you 542 feet squared. All right. Now, on a triangle, this one is, you need a few things before you can really get started. You need your base area, so capital B. When you look at your formulas in Canvas, it'll say something, something, capital B. B is base area, and that would be your triangle, so that would be 1/2. Let's see, it's going to be 9 times 12 is the area of the triangle, and that's going to give you 54. And then you need your perimeter. So your perimeter is going to be 9, 12, and 15. 9 plus 12 plus 15, and that's going to give you 36. Now, once you have those, now you can move to the surface area. And the surface area formula for this is your height times your perimeter. So 16 is your height, and height is actually like depth of the figure, how far through space that triangle, how far the triangles apart, essentially, the two triangles. So 16 times your perimeter, 36, plus 2 times your base height, so 2 times 54. All right, and that's going to give you 684 millimeters squared. Okay, now you have a trapezoid on 3, so but it's the same type of formula. You use your base area, so that's going to be 1/2. My height of the trapezoid is 12, and then the sum of the bases are 18 and 23, and that's going to give me a base area of 246. My perimeter is going to be 12 plus 23 plus 20. 20 is that side of the trapezoid, and then plus 18, and that's going to give you a perimeter of 73. All right, and then surface area is your depth. How far is one trapezoid away from the other? Well, that's 15. So 15 times your perimeter, 73, plus 2 times your base area, so 2 times 246. And that's going to give you an area of 1587. 1587 feet squared. Okay, so as you got prisms, you need 2 base areas. You have cones or cylinders, you need 2 base areas. But when you get to prisms, you're going to need 1. Okay, so for surface area, on 4, you need the area, or 2 times the area, so 2 times pi 11 squared plus 2 pi, your radius is 11, and then, so that's, remember, 11 is your radius, so 2 pi r is your perimeter, so it's kind of the same thing as before, so 2 times your perimeter times your height, or your depth. How far is one circle from the other? So that's 26. You crunch those numbers and you get approximately 257 or 225.57.26 yards squared. All right. Now on number 5, we're dealing with pyramids. And when you deal with figures that go to a certain point, like pyramids and cones, you introduce this thing called lateral area, which is lateral height, and that is the height of the face. So like right here, 7.4 is the height of the face, not the height of the pyramid. All right, so I need base area. So that's going to be, I have a square, so it's going to be 5 squared, which is 25. I need a perimeter, so 4 times 5 is 20. And then my surface area formula is going to be 1/2 times my lateral height, 7.4, times my perimeter, 20, plus my base height, 25. So that's going to give me 99 inches squared. All right. On 6, they give us the height of the figure, but in order to find this, to find the surface area, I need to actually find the lateral height. So I need to find this side. All right, so that I need to find use Pythagorean theorem to find this. So it's going to be x squared equals 3 squared plus 8 squared. So x squared equals 73. X equals the square root of 73. So that's going to be my lateral height. Right. So my base height, or my base area, is going to be 16 squared, which is 256. And my perimeter is going to be 4 times 16, which is 64. All right, so my surface area is 1/2 your lateral height, square root of 73, times your perimeter, 64, plus your base height, or your base area, so 256. And that's going to give me 528. It is approximating because of that radical, 528 feet squared. Okay. On 7, we're doing a cone, and the first one we have has a lateral height. So this is going to be surface area equals, I need the area of the circle, so that's going to be pi r squared, so pi times 7 squared, plus the circumference is or pi times 7 times the lateral height, so 11.4. All right, again, these formulas are in Canvas, so I'll leave that to you to go look up. All right, so this is going to give me approximately 404.64 meters squared. Okay. On 8, I need to use Pythagorean theorem to find the radius. All right, so that's going to give me x squared plus 25.2 squared equals 27.3 squared. So x squared equals 110.25. So x equals 10.5. It works out that way. All right, so my surface area is simply going to be pi times 10.5 squared plus pi 10.5 times my lateral height, which is 27.3. All right, so that gives me a surface area of 1246.90 or 0.9 inches squared. Okay, and then your sphere is really straightforward. The surface area and the volume formula for a sphere are really straightforward. Here it's 4 pi r squared. So this is going to give me 4 pi 2.8 squared, which is going to give me 98.52 meters squared for my surface area. All right, that's the hard part. Volume is much more straightforward. Pyramids, cones, and cylinders. All right. So volume is simply length times width times height. So you just multiply all these numbers together: 10 times 14 times 4.5, and that gives you 630 inches squared. Or area is squared, volume is cubed. So 630 inches cubed. All right, and then my base area here is volume. I like to think about it as a face or a shape, in this case a triangle, pushed through space. So I need to find the area of that triangle and then multiply it by the height of the figure, or the depth of the figure. So it's going to be 1/2. My height is 7.3 and the base is 12. So the base area is going to give me 43.8, and my volume is going to be that area, 43.8 times 5, the depth of the figure, which is going to give me 219 feet cubed. All right, so the area is feet squared. The volume is feet cubed. Okay. Now we have a trapezoid, so I need to find the base area for that. That's going to be 1/2. The height of the trapezoid is 17.9. The sum of the bases is 14 and 36. And so that's going to give me a base area of 447.5 meters squared. And then my volume is that area, 447.5 times the depth of the figure, which is 25. So 25. And that's going to give me 11,187.5 meters cubed. Right? For a cylinder, again, I need my base area. It says pi r squared. So that's going to be 5.5 for the radius. So that's going to be pi times 5.5 squared, which is going to give me, for an area, that's going to be 95.03 meters squared. And then for my volume, it's simply that area, 95.03, times the depth of the figure, which is 21. And that's going to give me a volume of 1995.7 meters cubed. Okay. Now, for volume, when it comes to pyramids and cones, there's a simple thing you have to make an adjustment for. So I still need my base area. So this is going to be a rectangle that is 10 times 11, which is 110 inches squared. Now for volume, because it's a pyramid, when it comes to a point, I'm going to add a 1/3 to my formula. So 1/3, the area, 110 times the height of that figure, which is 16. And that's going to give me a volume of 586.67 inches cubed. Now, if I don't, so in surface area, I needed the lateral height. On a volume, I need the height of the figure. Right, so if they give you the lateral height here with volume, I need to use the Pythagorean theorem to find this height. So that's going to be 7, because it splits it in half. All right, so that's going to be, let's see, x squared plus 7 squared equals 25 squared. So x squared equals 576. And the square root of that is 24. So I get a nice round number there. So my base area is 14 squared, which is going to be 196. feet squared. And then my volume is going to be 1/3 times the base area, 196, times the height of that triangle, which is 24, or that pyramid. And that's going to give me a volume of 1568 feet cubed. All right. Once again, I need to find this height right here. And I know that the radius is going to be 13.5 because it splits it in half. I'm looking for that. So let's see, we got x squared plus 13.5 squared equals 22.5 squared. X squared equals 324. And that's going to be the square root of, the square root of that is 18. Okay, so my volume is going to be, oops, I need my base area. So my base area is pi times 13.5 squared, which gives me 572.56 kilometers squared. So 1/3, because it's going to a point, times the base area, 572.56 times the height, which we found to be 18. All right, so it's going to give me a volume of 3435.33 kilometers cubed. All right, like I said before, the volume formula for surface area and volume formula of a sphere. So the surface area was 4 pi r squared. The volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. So it's really simple. The volume is 4/3 pi. Radius is going to be half that, so it's going to be 16.5. Yeah, so 16.5 cubed. And that's going to give me a volume of 18,816.57 centimeters cubed. All right, so that is lesson 13, surface area and volume. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. That's the end of our geometry, and in the next lesson we'll start talking about stats. All right, so I will see you in the next lesson.